Hello, everyone. Welcome to our podcast, The Difference is Life, where we are talking about all things pregnancy center, all things stories. Today, I am so excited to be joined by one of our clients with the most beautiful story, Faith, who is here today. I'm so excited for you all to be able to learn more about her and her story for myself. So let's dive in. Faith, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course.
If you wouldn't mind just going ahead and just sharing a little bit about yourself to start us off.
Yeah, of course. I am Faith. I am going to be turning 18 in 6 weeks. I found out that I was pregnant roughly around probably 3-4 days before my 16th birthday. I went through the whole pregnancy, of course. When I found out, it was very, very unexpected. I went to the hospital for a migraine that I had for probably 4 or 5 days at this point. Not expecting to leave, finding out that I was 10 weeks pregnant at the moment. The doctors had walked in and you could tell by their face there was something wrong because they the nurse walked in with him. They're looking at me. I'm looking at them okay, what's going on here? And he was like, I got some good but might not be scary news kind of. He was very awkward about it, and I was like, what is this news you're about to tell me? And he was like, you're definitely pregnant. I was like, yeah, my whole face, my heart dropped.
Yeah.
I was I was stuttering. I was just
Wow.
what? And then they were the first thing that they gave me was abortions and stuff like that. And I've always been very big on I could never do an abortion. Never. It was never a thought in my head. They're showing me this paperwork and I was just no, no way. At the end of the day, I sat there and made that mistake, and that's not that baby's fault at all. So I remember going home and I was like, how am I about to tell my grandmother? It's what do I tell my grandmother? I ended up going to my grandma and I was like, Grandma. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I got some news to tell you that you're not going to be happy about. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, when I went to the hospital, she was like, yeah, what about it? She's like, where's the medication they're supposed to give you? I was like, so it was actually because I'm pregnant. And I just remember my grandma's face being she didn't know what to say. She was just stuck. It was one of the moments where it was just pure stuck. And that's when I brought out the paperwork and she was like, Faith, what? And you could tell that she needed a moment. So I just was I just walked off crying. I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna hate me. She's not gonna love me no more. She ended up coming, she didn't speak to me for 2-3 days. Wow. So I was like, what did I, should I not have told her? So then 2-3 days passed and I'm just scared. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I called my pastor. I was like, Pastor, what do I do? And I explained the whole thing to her. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, what are you gonna do? I was like, well, I don't believe in abortions. I have to keep the baby. I have to figure it out. And she was like, okay. She's like, have you heard of the pregnancy center? And I was like, no, what is that? I don't want an abortion. She was like, no, it's not an abortion. She's like, the pregnancy center can guide you through it, help you out. There's people who can support you there. And I remember I was like, okay, I'm going to call, I'm going to get in there. And that day my grandma came to me and she was like, I'm not happy. She's like, I'm very disappointed. But she's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm going to keep it. She was like, okay. She's like, so what's the next step? And I was like, well, Pastor Claudia just told us about the pregnancy center, so that's what I'm going to do. She was like, okay. She's like, remember, and then she gave me the whole lecture of this is not going to be easy. This is going to be very hard. So I remember that day calling, and at the moment, it was the old secretary before her. And she was like, so welcome. She's like, yeah, we can get you in today if you would like. I remember coming in and I walked in the door crying. Aww. And I remember Ruth looking at me. I remember watching her jump out of her seat, and she just came to me and hugged me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is home. Then everybody was of course, first visit, they're walking you through, being really supportive. And then I just became very regular, got my appointments set, and it's always been like home here. Like I always know, like when it's them hard moments, it's like I know, like okay, like it's time to call the pregnancy center.
Aww.
So then fast forward to probably around 9 months at this point. Like they're telling me they're scheduling my induction. I remember I was like, what am I, like this is not about to happen. I remember calling Ruth. I was like, Ruth, like I'm gonna give birth in like a week. Like I can't do this. Like what do I do? Like I can't even take care of myself. Like how am I gonna take care of a whole nother human? And I remember her just like praying with me. She was like, you got this. Like, and at that moment, she had told me to come in the office. And I sat with her for a while. And we were just talking. And she was like, you got this. Like, no matter what, you have a whole support system here. You like, just basically saying, like, you got this. And it was like, at that moment, like, I knew it was time. Like, it's about to happen in a week. Like, I'm going to have a whole nother human here in a week. So I was like, okay, like, we're going to figure this out. I went home. I started packing my hospital bag. And then not even a week later, like, I started having really bad contractions. I was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, not right now. So I get to the hospital, and at this point, they found out that I was preeclampsia, low iron. So they're trying to get my blood pressure steady while I'm going through contractions. So my water, like, they could not get it to break. So they ended up popping my water. And then probably on March 31st of 2024 at noon on the dot, my Easter Bunny arrived. He had the most limited edition birthday. I call him my Easter Bunny because you know how Easter only falls like every couple years on March. So I was like, he's like my limited edition Easter Bunny. Like I call him my Easter Bunny all the time. And I remember like the doctors were like, it's time to push. I was like, like I have the video of like them telling me it's time to push. And I was just like, no, like I can't, like, what do I do? Like, I can't push. She was like, it's time to push. I was like, I was like, I can't do it. And I remember like freezing. I was like, no, like I cannot do this. Like I cannot push a whole baby out right now. And let's see.
Come on, my dear. So as soon as your aunt gets here, we will push, okay? Okay. Let's put you.
I remember just being like, oh my god, like this is not about to happen.
Oh my goodness.
So eventually my aunt gets there, which is my pastor. And she was like, at this point, the baby's head is already out. Like this baby's like coming. So my aunt runs in the door and I did the one big push and he was here.
Oh my goodness.
And I remember they put him on my chest and I had felt so disconnected. Like my body was like stuck. Like I didn't know, like I was just zoned. Like I wasn't even, my body didn't even feel like I was there. Like I remember them just setting him on my chest and I was just like staring off into space, like stuck. So then I ended up getting transferred to the postpartum side. And I remember, like, I couldn't even do anything. Like, I was just sleeping. Like, I just fell asleep. Like, my grandma and my aunt was the ones taking over at that moment. And then I wake up, and they're like, oh, you want to do some more skin to skin? And I was like, I felt so disconnected. Like, I was crying. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, he doesn't deserve someone like me to try and raise him. And they were like, no. Like, I remember my aunt just picking him up. And she was like, no. Like, she put him on my chest. And, like, he just, like, grabbed my finger. And I was like, hey. I was like, and then, like, the disconnection, like, snapped away.
Wow.
And I remember just, like, being on the floor with him. And they sent me home the next day. I was like, wait, like, you're me to tell me, like, I'm taking this baby home, like, today? When it was time to go home, I'm trying to find the picture of my face. I was just like stuck. I was like, I'm taking a baby home. Goodness. And I remember right after this, like I even told the transport guy, I was like, am I really about to take this baby home?
Wow.
The transport guy was like, yeah, you're about to take the baby home. I was like, what do I do with it? Like, what do I do with the baby? And I remember we got home and he was just so tiny in the car seat. So I took him out of the car seat and all he did was sleep. So I was like, okay. And then it was the nights that came and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? Like, how am I going to do this? So of course, like, I had to take a break from school. I was like, I'm so sleep deprived. Like, I would try and get up in the mornings for school and I'm like, no, not happening. Went right back in the bed, like, yeah, done. So managed about when he was probably like 4 or 5 months to be able to graduate high school. And then recently, about 2-3 months now, I started at Seminole State for my nursing program. So cool. And that was always like one of my biggest fears. I was like, how am I going to go to nursing school when I have a whole baby now?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, we're going to make a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And I remember everybody telling me, like, you're not going to give up on your dream. And now I'm in nursing school following my dream while having my son on the front line. And my son now, like, through the whole journey, like, it's been such, like, power from him. Like, he literally, like, saved my life. Because if it was not for him, the path I was going down could have been a very dangerous path. Could have ended very badly. So he's definitely, like, my biggest blessing possible. And I could not ask for no more than him. He's the one who gets me through those hard days where it's like I wake up and I'm just like, I can't get out of bed. Like, I'll look down at him and he's just smiling. Aww. And I'm like, okay, we're getting out of bed today. Yeah. We don't have a choice. So it's very fun. It's very interesting. Awesome. But it's like, even during those fun moments, is such a hard journey. Like, I feel like nobody told me those hard moments, like, except you guys. So it's like, in a way, I was prepared for it, but, like, also not prepared.
Yeah, unless you're in it.
I was like, because, like, everybody was telling me, they're like, remember, there's going to be those moments where he is going to test the life out of you. And I was like, no, like, it can't be that bad. And then I'm like, it gets there. I'm like, it definitely gets rough. But I feel like even through all those rough moments, the moments of just watching him smile, even though he knows he was not supposed to do that, it's still like, okay, like, we're gonna get through it. Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of moms who are always, like, scared, like, what to expect. And I feel like a lot of people don't really tell them what to expect, especially when it comes to the postpartum. Because I remember, like, Ruth was probably the main one telling me, like, that postpartum was not gonna be easy. I remember being postpartum, like, so detached from everything, so sleep deprived. Like, crying over anything. Like, I wouldn't even know what I was crying for. And I would just be crying. So I feel like one of the biggest things for any mom to know, like, becoming a mom, walking through that pregnancy journey, is it's really just walking with him, experiencing your child, watching their personality grow. And remembering that even through them hard moments, like, them smiles truly do make up for it. Because as much as this child tests me, I'm like, them watching him smile, I'm like, you know what? I will clean up this water. I will clean up your duck bath that you decided to do. I will happily stop what I'm doing to make sure you're okay. So, as hard of a journey as it's definitely been the biggest blessing. And I could not imagine my life without my son. Like, I'll try and do it. Like, I'm like, I wonder what life would be without, like, having a baby. And I'm like, I can't even imagine it. Like, I just imagine all the Disney trips with him, like, with his Mickey little ears.
So beautiful. I feel like there is, gosh, for you to be freshly 16 and for just to figure that out and just to walk through it, like, sure, like, it's hard and it's stressful, but, like, you did it. Yeah. Like, you did it, and you did it with a smile on your face, and you did it walking in here, like, and you were vulnerable, which was so important. Like, you didn't keep all those emotions shoved down.
Definitely not.
What would you say to that Faith who just found out she's pregnant and you're scared and shocked? What would you say to her?
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be the best moment of your life. Like, I remember when I was disconnected, but at the same time, like, while I was disconnected, like, I knew it would be better in a way. So I feel like finding out in that hospital room, like, you're pregnant, I feel like if I could go back in time, like, I'll just be like, it's okay. Like, of course, like, would it be ideal? Like, would it want to get pregnant that young? But just telling myself, like, it's okay. Like, you're gonna make it through. Like, because I remember, like, I was like, how am I gonna do school? Like, how am I gonna graduate high school? Never mind make it to the nursing program. Yeah. And now it's like I'm watching myself make it there. You did it. And I'm just like, okay, like, we made it through. And I feel like a lot of people, they think that baby's gonna stop you. When I tell you, it's so much more fun. Like, having my son, like, I used to, like, go on random road trips before, just by myself, and I'll just be like, now that I have my son, like, I'll take him on that road trip, and it's way more fun. I feel like a lot of people think, like, oh, like, everything's gonna have to change. Like, really, nothing has changed. Like, I bring him everywhere with me. It's like having my mini me walk beside me. And it's like, now that he can truly walk, like, he'll just be holding my hand and we'll just be walking. Like, it's truly just having a mini you. Like, just watching a mini you grow up. And it's definitely, like, amazing. Like I said, could not change it for the world now that he's here. Like, he's, like, the most grateful thing I could ever be grateful for.
I feel like that is true, that there's so many people and their, like, main argument or main reason for not wanting to keep the baby is because, like, you'll hear that, like, well, my life's going to be over, or, well, I won't be able to pursue XYZ. And we always try to say, like, that doesn't have to stop.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely doesn't. Like, I take my baby everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, this baby's done been to Disney, on who knows how many road trips, to the mall. Yeah. Like, if I'm, like, I'll be like, okay, I'm going shopping. Like,
you're coming.
Yep, I'm like, hey, you want to go shopping? And, like, he'll just grab his shoes. Like,
aww. How would you say that your journey would be different if you had not been told about the pregnancy center?
It would have been way different. Like, the amount of support that I have here, like, if I needed to cry, like, I know I could just run in the door and, like, hug anybody in here and just be like, I just need you guys. So it's like, I feel like without you guys, like, I truly don't know where I would be. Like, as to be completely honest, like, even just looking at it, like, without you guys, I don't know how I would have made it through. Because it's like, as much support as I had here on them days where I'm like, I'm giving up. Like, I can't do this. Like, I remember, like, I feel like Ruth was always my biggest person. Ruth was always that person. Like, Ruth, where are you? Like, I need you. Yeah. So, I feel like without you guys, like, in general, like, I don't know how. Like, it would have been, like, an I don't know. Because it's, like, outside of here, like, I only have my grandmother, my uncle, and my pastor. So, it's, like, having a whole extra, like, 10, 15 people, like, on my side. Yeah. That definitely is really what pushed me, I feel like. Yeah. Because I'm like, hey, now I have even more people, like, were ready to watch this journey with me. Yep. So I feel like truly without you guys, like, it would have been possible, but would it have been 30 times harder? Yes. It would have been so much harder. Like, I could not have done it without you guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your story. If you guys would like to hear more stories like Faith's, don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this podcast. And also, if you'd love to donate to the center, which we're able to just help so many women and walk alongside them, you can go to our website, thedifferenceslife.org, and there's a big donate button, or we have an Amazon wish list that is updated weekly with things that we're looking for in our boutiques, and you can donate that way as well. But we're so grateful that you're here.
Thank you.
Beautiful story with little Gabe.
Yes.
And we will see you guys next time.